Oh, look. Now they're going to fall in love.
Yeah, so this is really kind of like the Avengers Endgame. You know, when they all come back. And what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Tonight we're taking on Cells at Work, Episode 7, Cancer Cells. So our suspicions at the end of Episode 6 have, I think, come true based on this episode title. But I am Dr. Todd, by the way.
I'm Allycia.
And thank you so much for being here. Consider like, subscribe, comment, all those things to help keep us growing and help us have even more fun doing it. So I know just a really quick intro here before we jump in, but we had speculated that natural killer cell had likely detected that this was perhaps a cancer cell based on what natural killer cells do. And it's also very clever that she was arguing with this cytotoxic T cell, because cytotoxic T cells also play a big role in, say, detection of cancer cells. And so it makes sense, although this natural killer cell, we're going to see what she does with this cancer cell now, or well, what we assume is the cancer cell. So without further ado, we're going to jump into this. We'll see what you guys think. Let us know. You ready?
Oh, wait, one more thing. When I was making the thumbnail for the last one, I saw a picture of something that I hope I'm wrong with. So
Don't tell me.
I'm not going to tell you. I wouldn't do that.
Ruin it for me.
I was like, no.
Blast off. Subscribe.
Uh-oh.
Huh? Are you all right? Sorry, my shoelace broke on me.
Is she swelling?
That's a bad omen.
Swelling?
I'm fine. You can go
I don't
ahead.
know.
I'll just catch up in a little bit. Do you want bad luck? Are you seriously walking under a ladder?
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
No, not broken dishes! That's even worse!
I've never heard that broken dishes are a bad omen.
Probably not a good thing.
Even her cowlick's out of whack.
Is her hair haunted?
They're haunted.
Oh, I like this episode.
It's like I'm under siege from bad vibes.
Oh, it stopped.
Okay, back to the
But
abandoned.
I think it's time for the truth.
Yes. When I said she's kind of like Tomb Raider, so one of the comments said, Tomb Raider, you mean Tumor Raider.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I like that. Tumor Raider.
It's clever.
So, and actually, this natural killer cell kind of looks like that character from The Mandalorian. That one girl who's like really BA, like muscular.
Which one looks like?
The natural killer cell.
Really?
I can't remember her name in the show.
Oh,
but you know what I'm
okay.
talking about?
Okay. Yes. Yeah. And so you think she looks like the girl from The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
That makes, I can see that.
Guess you caught me.
I admit that this is very impressive for a cancer.
Oh.
Passing yourself off is so harmless.
Oh. It's like the activated version.
Must think you're real smart, buying them some time to get away. And you still got that smirk on.
Ooh.
Okay. This already debunked my theory.
Mm-hmm.
I thought this is the image I saw.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was the white blood cell
Oh.
got taken over by cancer. So I was
Okay.
getting really sad.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
But I think it's kind of cool that he's developing, like, you can see like blood flow vessels. So like these cancer cells will like basically do this. They have an ability to basically release these markers which allow for like angiogenesis and things. So that way they get plenty of blood, they get plenty of nutrients that they need to grow and to continue to evade, the immune defenses. And we'll talk a lot more about cancer later, but obviously I want to take a look and see what he says.
Yeah.
They overrun the boundaries between themselves and surrounding cells as they endlessly proliferate.
Endlessly proliferate.
I wasn't trying to get them to safety. I just wanted them out of the way. Well, they looked at you and saw a normal cell, not the monster you are. Denny's
Oh, she's sharpening her knife.
Yeah.
But instead you put on your little play and let us hear. Tell me your evil plan.
I'd rather not.
Gosh.
Mm.
So is that like a tumor then, you think, representing?
Could be, yeah.
Scared of the big bad cancer cell for so long before I start laughing at you.
It's a good thing our immune system really is unbothered. Like they are truly do not run from the danger.
Yeah.
They just have to be able to identify the danger.
Okay,
Right.
I'll admit that one was pretty good.
Not quite so funny anymore.
All right, how am I gonna take this creep down?
So natural killer cells do have what I think it's called perforin, which they release, which can punch holes through cancer cells.
Oh.
We should find NK in the other cell and get out of here. What's this? A piece of paper?
An
Interesting.
ominous piece of paper.
Look at this.
Is this like his
His
layer?
secret lab,
Is this?
learning about all the cells.
Is that what they do?
I mean, they learn how to outrun.
What is
Okay.
going on here? Are they ignoring the normal proliferation program?
That seems like that's what's happening.
Look at these moving boxes. Why are they so neat? Proliferation, infiltration, metastasis. This is no viral infection.
Yeah.
They're cancer cells.
I wonder how white blood cells do with cancer cells.
Well, it's so the part of the problem is they do nothing unless they know it's a cancer cell.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Because
Yeah, they evade.
They're there to fight foreign invaders.
Things hiding down here the whole time?
And of course, killer T cells do have an ability to recognize certain things like underexpression of what's called MHC,
And we can go off looking for NK and the kid.
which is these like cellular proteins.
NK.
Oh, there's the tumor.
All that tough talk and you're still getting your butt kicked.
Clearly, you two are doing so well against him.
I like how they still have the rivalry.
You idiots didn't even notice he was a cancer cell!
What you call us? Both of you shut up. We don't have time for your bickering. What happened to that common cell that was with us? Tell me you got the kid out of here in time.
But he still didn't recognize it.
Who the heck do you think this is?
Well, but neutrophils don't tend to recognize cancer cells.
Oh, so that's what. Okay, that makes sense.
You're a cancer cell?
Now he knows he is.
Wait. When I saved him before, that was all just acting? He and that other cancer cell staged the whole thing?
What it feels like to be hunted and massacred. The way you immune cells tear through us like we're nothing!
Well, so where is the building? Did we determine that?
No, I don't know.
Okay, like which part his cancer has
Yeah.
under control.
Like we call that primary. What the primary cancer is.
Yeah.
Absolute bullheaded.
No, it's an image.
Yeah.
Hello, big sister at Bledsoe. It's good to see you.
Platelets.
Hey there, teeny tiny platelets. Oh. Oh. Yeah, there it is. Isn't that pretty smile? Isn't that great? I just can't get over how nice and peaceful things have been.
Condensed gas.
Yeah, you said it.
Oh no, she did say it.
I'd almost forgotten about all those bad vibes. Hey,
Wow.
what the heck's going on with this gigantic delivery?
So it's like
Yeah.
the cancer's like summoning it.
Maybe.
Order from this housing complex to send in a massive order of nutrients and then just keep it flowing.
So that feeds the cancer cells.
Yeah.
Think we should take a look inside?
Did you see like the
I know it was like that in another episode too. It was the first episode.
But you got the same delivery instructions I did, so let's stick to it.
Let's get to work. Yeah, coming.
Damn bug! Time to die! Come on! Kill them on sight and make certain that they're dead!
Oh,
So
is this suggesting that it's been here for a while?
yes.
Oh,
Your copy error makes us all look like fools! I was just so exhausted.
Yeah, I mean, kind of showing that cancer starts. It takes a long time to proliferate.
okay.
Really aggressive cancer forms obviously can copy much quicker.
Come on, we gotta go.
Well, it's really sad that they're depicting these cancer cells as little children.
No.
Where'd the other one go? Split up, smoke him out, and finish him! Shut up!
Gosh.
Bug.
So I'm a bug.
Yeah, this is really interesting because, I mean, this is what is so sometimes heartbreaking about cancer. In a lot of patients will feel like they've been betrayed by their own body because these cells were your cells, our cells, and they just stopped listening and started copying and developing really dangerous, say, survival mutations, and then they end up, you know, consuming, taking over, and then of course killing you as the host. So it's like, obviously you don't, we never feel bad for cancer. I mean, ever, but it is really a very interesting way to depict this.
Yeah.
Because it kind of makes you feel bad for these cells.
Worthy of life when others are not. More than that, what makes us worthy of death?
Well, you'll kill the host.
And now I'm going to tear you free from it.
Well, I hope they're not dead.
It won't be much longer now.
What are they cooking there?
Lost red blood cell. Is something wrong, dear? Why are you all in such a rush? Orders from that housing complex over there. That place is really strange. This doesn't feel right.
Tip the macrophages off.
Yeah.
That's no victory. Do you honestly think a rampant flood of lunatic cells can actually keep this world alive? Everything you touch will die. Your future will wither away into less than nothing. I won't let you metastasize.
Farewell.
Oh, the
There we
macrophage.
go.
Are you guys alright?
There we go. Look at the whole gang.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Days are numbered, you malignant psychopath.
Oh, dear me. I was aiming to sink my cleaver into his head. How embarrassing.
Oh, I missed.
Oh, I missed his head.
It's kind of like Thor.
I said.
Should have aimed for the
There's
head.
something strange going on. I have some killing to do.
Kind of reminded
Yes,
me
you
of our
do.
son too, and he goes, I said.
I said.
There's no choice for you but to surrender. Don't make this any harder than it has to be.
I can't remember. Is he a regulatory T cell maybe? I'm trying to remember.
I
what
don't
he was.
remember.
Hey,
There we go.
Oh,
just sitting
look.
there
Now they're
forever?
going to fall in love.
Yeah, so this is really kind of like the Avengers Endgame. You know, when they all come back, and it's like, I think the Avengers creators actually probably watched this.
I mean, I got some ideas. I wonder which, I don't know when this came out compared to that.
Oh yeah, true. I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Together.
Give them everything you got. Oh, yes.
Basophil. Spit some wisdom.
Immunoglobulin time.
Let's consider that one payback.
and Kay, not really the time for joking around.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm sorry, killer. You'd be laughing too if you were me.
Now it's time to die.
Powerful as a good laugh.
Oh, it gave her some powers.
Yeah.
Oh, right, of course. Take him down, MK Cell.
You messed up
Chopping them to pieces.
real bad. You see, I got a little secret.
What's your secret?
Laughter makes NK cells stronger.
Interesting.
Huh.
No, I will not fail. I will not die.
I wonder if that's an artistic liberty or...
There's actually evidence of that?
I know.
I don't know. Seems like an interesting thing to find out.
I know.
Oh, he paused.
You're the same white blood cell that saved me. So take my life.
I'm so sorry. But no matter what you are, you're still a cell too. So if you have any final words to say before I take your life, I'll gladly hear them out.
I mean, he's kind of like Jon Snow. Like he's very,
Yes.
very
Honorable.
convicted. Yeah.
Disguised myself as a normal cell and you came to my rescue. That was probably the happiest I've ever been.
Oh.
My life that I felt another cell was looking out for me. Really just another cell. Can't you just accept me as a member of this world?
Well, because you're trying to take over
Yeah.
world domination.
It's was kind of your own fault though.
Yeah.
And when I die, this world will be happy that I'm gone. It's not fair that I was born in the first place.
This is very
I know. It's
dark.
like, it's tragic in its own right.
Yeah.
Still, I have no choice but to take your life.
I accept defeat only for today.
Yeah. Doesn't mean they won't try again.
I know.
Keep me
Red blood cell.
So, what is this process that they keep cleaning?
Decontaminating them.
Yeah.
He's gone now, I'm sure. For the moment, at least.
Ooh, for now.
Only for
Oh,
today.
for today.
Please rest in peace.
You're the one who rallied all the other immune cells to come save us, aren't you?
They're gonna kiss.
No, they're not.
Sure. Oh, hey,
See?
what were you and the cancer cell talking about?
It's nothing worth worrying about.
Nothing worth worrying about. Macrophages and dendrites, they belong together.
I wonder if this is the original concept art.
All right. I mean, who would have thought we'd ever like sort of feel bad for a cancer cell?
Yeah.
Look, I mean, so well,
Only in
let
the
me
show.
rephrase that. Yeah, well, I'll
Yeah.
never feel bad for cancer because cancer has ripped so many lives and so many families apart, and it's horrific, to see people go through that. But I do think the show has highlighted, I know we touched on it a few times, but it's highlighted that really interesting concept that these ultimately were your own body cells that developed mutations. Now, those mutations were intended to be like kind of quote gain of function type mutations. They were designed to allow those cells to replicate without checks and balances, to outcompete surrounding cells. And so like they weren't like intended for good, like when those mutations happen. Like a normal cell follows the rules, right? It grows when you tell it to grow, it stops when you tell it to stop, and it dies when you tell it to die. Like when it's damaged, the body it's told, it gets marked, and immune cells come in and they will destroy it. What makes cancer so difficult, and actually kind of what they highlighted here, is that this would have started a while ago. It takes multiple mutations before the cancer becomes sort of that malignancy, and in doing so, it is trying to evade the immune system. Like that's how it works, and it develops mutations to help it evade the immune system. Because if the body recognized it as a cancer cell, it would take care of it. And by not recognizing it, it allows it to proliferate to a point where in some cases, unfortunately, the body no longer has its own ability to take care of it. And that obviously is when we run into, perhaps needing other types of treatments, or even, unfortunately, in many cases, death. Because they talked about the term metastasize. And so for those of you that don't know what that means, that is when a cancer has left its primary area. And so if a cancer forms in like a solid tumor, for example, if a solid tumor forms in the lungs, or a solid tumor forms in the colon, those are lung cancer and colon cancer. And those in early stages can often be cured, actually, surgically. Mm-hmm. Surgically, we can cure a lot of those, and sometimes needing maybe chemotherapy or immune therapy. Because immune therapy really just works to like basically take away the body's regulatory checks that would stop the body from targeting it. Because, and this is where regulatory T cells come into play. So regulatory T cells try to surveillance the immune system, keep it from, say, overreacting, and from having that massive response and destroying everything around it. And so, a cancer cell, and I mentioned some of the proteins that, cancer cells will try to reduce expression of certain proteins that, say, killer T cells might recognize. But in doing so, they may take away some of those proteins, those cell surface proteins, and then so natural killer cells may notice that it looks different. And they're like, hold on a minute, you don't have the full complement of proteins here. There's something wrong with you. And so there's that constant surveillance, going around. Like if I almost like think Star Wars with the drones going around, like surveillancing areas, right?
Yeah.
That's what's happening with your immune system. And so cancer, this is kind of the intelligence a little bit of cancer. It is trying to mutate in a way that this cell doesn't notice, but not go so far off that this cell doesn't notice, because the body has multiple systems at play. And then certainly you can have like genetic disorders that, say, inhibit natural killer cells or something, and those people may be at increased risk for cancer.
Okay.
Now, some of the cancer genetics, though, that's a little different. So like, people may be familiar with like BRCA genes for, say, breast cancer, or what's called APC genes for like a familial colon cancer link. That's different. Those are genetic. Those are basically changing some of the, we'll say, proteins that control proliferation. And so then you end up getting less, say, checks and balances within the cell's proliferation process. And so then again, it's all about proliferating out of control. And so that's pretty interesting. And I do think they did a really good job of portraying that here. Something that's maybe also kind of interesting, I don't know if everyone knows this, but the body will produce cancer cells often. Or let me rephrase that. Almost everybody will have cancer cells attempt to grow, and the body will take care of that without us knowing it. And there's good evidence. There's actually good science to show that. Like that's why these cells exist. So it can be kind of a scary thought that there have been cancerous cells that our body has taken care of if it's doing its job correctly. Obviously, again, not to keep drudging on about that, but it's when those cells evade the immune system for long enough that they become really, really problematic. And so I kind of have a little bit of a theory here. They said for now, right? He said gone for now, or I accept defeat for today or something like that. And so most people are probably aware of the term remission.
Yeah.
Right. And so remission is that term that we apply to there is no detectable cancer in the body.
I see.
But remember, like we're talking about microscopic disease here. We're talking about at the cellular level. And this is why certain cancers have no higher incidence rates of these things where they can maybe go into remission, but we kind of expect that that's perhaps only temporary and that they will eventually rear their head. And I know since we're trying to bridge, Cells at Work and Code Black and then ultimately get to the live action film. But, we haven't released it yet, but we filmed the second episode of Code Black. That'll probably be out before we release this one. And then we've obviously filmed up to this point for Cells at Work. And I kind of wonder if some of what you guys have told us is true, and that this is depicting perhaps like a teenage girl. And if Code Black, and we don't know if any of this is true because we haven't checked into anything, but if Code Black is indicating maybe perhaps that the host's father from this, it would be interesting to me if maybe there's a connection between a cancer scare and, say, a child, and then the father, say, starting to smoke again. From episode 1 of Code Black, where they said, the first time in 10 years. Right? So
could the child be 10 years old?
Maybe. And maybe they stopped smoking when the child was born. And maybe it's a 10-year-old child who developed cancer. And then, of course, you can imagine the stress and the heartbreak and all of the self-destructing behaviors that we might do if we were ever informed of that of our children. And that would be interesting if those two were connected. So we'll see. I mean, like I said, I have no idea if any of that is even remotely true. But that is
just a theory.
I love how you guys share your theories, so I'm just sharing one of my theories. So we'll find out if that comes true. I don't know that I mentioned too. So I think it's called perforin. I think that's what natural killer cells. One of the ways that they will kill cancer cells is by releasing this thing called perforin, and because it will perforate the cell walls of these cancer cells. It will basically plug holes in. It will punch holes in the cell wall, and then they will release another enzyme. I think it's called granulozyme or something like that. I'm getting my terminology a little bit off.
We can throw up a little.
Yeah, I can look it up later. I think it's like a granulozyme, that then enters the cell and then forces it to die. And so that's kind of how it does it. But I do love, and like I mentioned it in the episode, I love that scene where all of the immune cells kind of come up over the hill, and it's like you got your eosinophil and you got your, although we didn't get, the basophil didn't give us a cryptic speech.
I know. They just showed them.
I know. They really, I think, missed a really, that could have been an epic moment there.
Yeah.
And it could have said something like immune cells assemble.
You just really comparing this to Avengers.
That would have been cool. You may find that I do that a lot with shows. I draw comparisons.
You should see his office.
Yeah, someday we'll show you on Insta. All right, guys. So a lot of fun. I can't wait to keep going with this and seeing where this goes. If we ever do see this cancer cell again, I have a sneaky suspicion we will. But we'll see. Till then, thanks for checking this out. Have a good night.
See ya.
I am Dr. Todd.